Gas Networks Ireland has developed a world-class natural gas infrastructure in Ireland. Over 13,000 kilometres of buried gas pipelines transport natural gas throughout the country, passing invisibly through some of Ireland's most beautiful countryside and most populated cities. These pipelines cross rivers, canals and railways. They run through villages, towns and cities, often running alongside other underground pipes and cables to serve houses, schools and factories. Any damage to these pipelines caused by excavation or other groundworks puts people, property and the environment at risk. Pipeline safety is at the heart of our business. This video contains information about the risks associated with working near natural gas pipelines, including where and how to find pipelines, how to reduce the risk of damaging them, and what to do in the event of an emergency.
Natural gas is beneficial to both society and industry, as it's a clean, efficient fuel that can be piped directly into the premises of the people who use it. The GNI pipelines are monitored 24/7 every day of the year by our grid control department. However, once they become buried, they are effectively invisible, so great care needs to be taken when working near them.
Like all fuels, natural gas is flammable. A distinctive smell is added to it for safety. When used correctly, natural gas is a clean, efficient fuel that brings heat and energy to homes, businesses and industry across Ireland.
Under the legislation, employers are required to provide a safe place of work for their employees, implement safe systems of work for their employees and those that might be affected by the work activities, including high-risk work such as work near underground services. Many instances of damage to underground services are reported to the Health and Safety Authority every year, and in most cases our investigations show that these are preventable. They're normally due to a lack of planning, due to a lack of identification of the services and due to a lack of consultation with the service provider.
When a pipeline is damaged, however, it can result in an uncontrolled gas release. Leaking gas can be ignited by a spark, resulting in a fire or an explosion. High concentrations of natural gas in an enclosed space will displace oxygen and can cause loss of mobility, unconsciousness, or asphyxiation. The pressure in high-pressure gas pipelines alone can cause serious injury or death if released suddenly. Natural gas is lighter than air, so if it escapes from a pipeline, it will normally rise and disperse into the atmosphere. However, if obstructed, it may travel through ducts, sewers, chambers, or voids, and potentially build up inside a premises or confined space. Natural gas shouldn't be confused with liquefied petroleum gas, LPG, which is heavier than air and sinks to the ground when released. The transmission system is made up of steel pipes carrying natural gas across country to towns and cities. It operates at high pressures up to 85 bar, which is over 30 times the average car tyre pressure. The distribution system is constructed of yellow plastic polyethylene pipes and some cast ductile iron pipe. It transports natural gas in urban and suburban areas, supplying homes and businesses. It operates at lower pressures of up to 4 bar.
Accidental damage is the biggest threat to GNI's pipelines. It's very important if you damage them in any way that you contact us immediately. Approximately 40 incidents of unauthorised excavations occur in the vicinity of our transmission pipelines every year, as well as several hundred cases of actual damage to our distribution pipework. Each one of these instances has the potential to cause great harm for the people involved.
Every year there are hundreds of incidents of damage to gas pipelines in Ireland caused by contractors, landowners and others carrying out excavation and other groundworks. Fortunately, serious incidents are rare. However, the potential consequences of a gas escape from even a low-pressure pipeline can be severe. Anyone working close to gas pipelines has an obligation to protect themselves and others from the risks associated with their work, including the risk of damaging a pipeline. High-pressure gas transmission pipelines are normally buried to a depth of 1.2 meters and have a black polyethylene or concrete coating. Once reinstated, nearly all evidence of a buried pipeline is removed and routine farming activities like ploughing and cultivation will not affect it. Pipeline marker posts help our staff and the public identify the route of the pipeline by indicating the position of the pipeline at land and road boundaries. If you come across a marker post, then a transmission pipeline is nearby. But be aware that the pipeline may not run in a straight line between marker posts. Markers can also be accidentally moved and shouldn't be relied on for complete accuracy. Gas Networks Ireland has certain rights within the strip of land or wayleave that normally extends 7 metres either side of the transmission pipeline. Our permission is needed to carry out excavation works within this area. Contact our Dial Before You Dig service and we will give you advice on what is required to complete the work safely. We will provide maps showing the location of the pipeline and will supervise the works free of charge in almost all cases. We monitor our pipelines by regular helicopter surveys and vehicle and foot patrols. For your safety and that of others, we will act to stop unauthorised works where they threaten the safety of our pipelines. Distribution pipelines are mainly found in cities and suburbs where they operate at medium and low pressures, supplying homes, businesses, hospitals and schools. Mains gas pipes run in the footpath, grass verge or road and are normally buried to a depth of at least 600 millimetres. There may be visible clues to their location, such as reinstatement patches or valve covers. Over time, however, roads may be resurfaced or realigned, and ground levels may be changed, so the location may no longer be apparent and the depth of cover may have been altered. It is therefore necessary to confirm the location of all gas mains and services by hand-digging trial holes over them before any other excavation works commence in their vicinity. Service pipes are gas pipes that feed individual properties. They are connected from the top of the mains and usually run at right angles from the road to the meter point at the building. They are not shown on network maps or drawings, but will usually be buried at a depth of 450 millimetres, rising to 375 millimetres as they approach the building. Extra care should be taken when locating them by using safe digging practices. Because they are plastic, distribution mains and service pipes are not normally traceable using a cable avoidance tool and signal generator or cat and jenny. To help identify the presence of services, look for gas meter boxes or cabinets, house entry points, service risers, gas valve covers. In older buildings, gas meters might be located inside with no visible signs of a service. In this case, check inside the building to locate the meter. Gas Networks Ireland also owns pressure regulating stations located throughout the country that help to control and operate the gas pipeline network. These stations are landscaped to blend in with the surrounding area but can be identified by Gas Networks Ireland signage. Above ground installations, AGIs, are normally surrounded by a fence and contain visible arrangements of pipework and ancillary equipment. Underground installations, UGIs, will not have visible pipework as they are contained within a chamber under a metal or concrete cover plate. These facilities should alert you to the presence of buried gas pipelines in the vicinity. Gas pipelines are constructed using 3 main methods. Open cut construction installs pipe using standard trenching techniques. Pipe is normally laid with sand or pea gravel surrounding it, and gas marker tape is placed above the sand or gravel layer. Insertion uses old metal gas mains as a carrier for inserting new plastic pipes. Moling or directional drilling uses a machine to drill underground from one location to another, pulling the pipe behind it. Where insertion or moling techniques have been used, the gas pipe will not have sand or gravel surrounding it and will not have a marker tape above it. Concrete slabbing is also used in some areas where the pipe is buried at shallow depths. Working near our pipelines poses a risk to the safety of both workers and the public. Health and safety legislation requires a safe systems of work to be used to help reduce this risk.
The elements that make up the safe system of work initially start with the design, planning and consultation with your service provider. Following that, using the up-to-date utility maps to identify the services on site using a competent person with the appropriate locating devices. After that, the next stage in the safe system work is implementing safe digging practices appropriate to the services.
Certain activities are higher risk than others and require additional controls. Explosives may not be used within 30 metres of any gas pipe without prior notification to Gas Networks Ireland. This increases to 400 metres for transmission pipelines. Consult Gas Networks Ireland when piling, directional drilling and boring within 15 metres of a gas pipeline, or when performing hot works where there is potential for a gaseous atmosphere to exist. If you are carrying out any of these activities, be sure to inform us when discussing the works. To find out whether there are gas pipelines where you plan to excavate, contact the Gas Networks Ireland Dial Before You Dig service and we will work with you to ensure the activities can be completed safely. Network maps are provided by post or email, typically within 5 working days of your initial contact. When reading maps, red lines show transmission mains, blue show distribution medium pressure mains, and green show distribution low pressure mains. If red lines are present on the network map you have received, you must consult further with Gas Networks Ireland before starting works. Pressure regulating stations are also marked on network maps. DRI, District Regulating Installation. DRI, UG, District Regulating Installation, underground. UGI, underground installation. AGI, above ground installation. Hand digging methods present the lowest risk of causing damage when excavating near a known or suspected gas pipeline. Handheld power tools pose a significant risk to the pipeline, which in turn pose the highest risk to the operatives involved in the work. They must not be used within 1.5 metres of a transmission pipeline and should never be used directly over distribution pipelines without positively locating the pipeline beforehand and taking precautions to prevent damage to the pipeline. Mechanical excavators, boring augers, and other powered plant present the highest risk to pipelines and must not be used within 3 metres of a transmission pipeline or within 500 millimetres of a distribution pipeline without prior consultation with Gas Networks Ireland. If in doubt as to the location of a transmission or distribution pipeline, contact the Dial Before You Dig service. If a pipeline is damaged even slightly, the following precautions must be taken. Move people away from and upwind of the affected area. Restrict employee and public access to the affected area. Don't turn any electrical switches on or off. Do not operate any plant or equipment. Prevent smoking, the use of naked flames, mobile phones and other ignition sources in the vicinity of the leak. Move away to a safe distance and ring Gas Networks Ireland immediately on our 24-hour emergency service on 1800 20 50 50, providing accurate information on your location and the nature of the incident. Do not attempt to repair the damage. Don't cover up a damaged pipeline. This may lead to gas travelling through ducts, sewers, chambers or voids and potentially building up inside a premises or confined space. Don't turn off any gas valves in the road or footpath. You may be causing further problems by doing so. Don't try to stop any product from leaking or to extinguish any fire. Assist Gas Networks Ireland emergency personnel. There may be no evidence of a leak, but damage even to the coated surface of the pipe could lead to problems in the future. Report any damage, no matter how slight, as soon as it happens. Gas Networks Ireland encourages anyone carrying out excavation or other groundworks to follow a few simple steps that could ultimately save lives. When planning excavation works, call 1-800 42 77 47 or email us on dig@gasnetworks.ie to obtain up-to-date gas network maps. Follow the Gas Networks Ireland safety advice for working in the vicinity of natural gas pipes and the HSA Code of Practice for avoiding danger from underground services by using safe systems of work at all times. If you have damaged a gas pipe, call 1-800 20 50 50 immediately, even if you don't suspect that gas is leaking. By working together, we can reduce the risks of injury to people, we can reduce the risk of damage to property and the environment, and we can ensure that excavations and other groundworks are completed safely and efficiently. For further information, please visit our website at www.gasnetworks.ie/dial.